In the very beginning, there was just Hashem, nothing else.
You're gonna prove that, right? The title of your video is Proof God Exists, so you're not just gonna assume he exists, right? That would be stupid.
And nothing else doesn't mean that there was nothing. There wasn't nothing, even.
Well, nothing means the absence of anything, so if there wasn't nothing, then there was something. Is this supposed to be profound?
Right? And it's not a incorrect double negative. Nothing is a concept. In order to be able to say there is nothing, there has to be a concept of something.
Okay, yes, we need concepts of something and nothing to talk about something and nothing.
And a concept of the absence of something, which is nothing.
Okay.
But the concept of nothing didn't even exist.
Well, a concept is a mental construction, so if there were no minds, I guess you could say the concept of nothing didn't exist if there was no one to conceive it. Unless you think that God is able to conceive that concept, and if so, and if there was a God, then the concept of nothing certainly did exist, at least in God's mind. But you haven't demonstrated that there is any God, so what's the point of all of this?
There wasn't anything, there was just Hashem.
Interesting. Is Hashem a something? If there's a concept of Hashem, and there is a concept of something, then there's a concept of nothing. You just said that. And are you really going to prove that God exists as your title implies? Because this is going nowhere and your video is almost done.
There was no concept, there was no logic, there was no reason, there was no anything, there was just Hashem.
So God does not have concepts, does not have logic, and does not have reason? Well, that's all fascinating speculation and contrary to most people's views of a deity, but how do you know any of that? I'm sure it's not from Genesis, because there, besides God, we have the concepts of earth, surface, darkness, wind, deep, water. I mean, the description there doesn't sound much like whatever you're failing to describe. But the title of the video was Proof God Exists, and Atheists Can't Explain This. And you provided no proof of anything and showed nothing that atheists can't explain, so that was total bait and switch. Just another faker.